pain is temporary. I've been trying to get that into your spirit. I've been trying to get you to celebrate pain. Are you hearing me? I'm trying to get you to have an understanding that pain is your friend, that pain is going to take you to the next level. I had a dream job. I had 2 gigs. The first one I got fired. The second one, it was so toxic, I had to walk away. I had pain going through. There was days I didn't want to get up. There was days I didn't want to put my clothes on. There was days I didn't want to face the world. But this is only the beginning. This is not the end. And so I was blessed because I went through so much pain that pain pushed me to prosperity. That pain pushed me to greatness. And that pain pushed me to write a bestseller. Your pain ain't permanent. You can get through this. You're bigger than your pain. You're better than that. You're going to get up. You're going to get dressed. You're going to get out. And you're going to do what you've been called to do. You're going to be what you called to be. And I'm telling you right now, don't give up. Don't give in. Get through it. And if you can get through it, if you can work through your pain, I'm guaranteeing you on the other side is a reward. Pain is not permanent.
It's necessary you take responsibility for it, that you make it happen, that you don't give up, that you don't take any objection or disappointment or defeats personally, that you keep on keeping on, that you realize that's a part of the program. And here's something you've got to resolve. See, as long as you're breathing, you got a shot at your dream. It's not over till I get over, not over till I get what I want. You've got to have that kind of courage, that type of determination. If you want to make it happen, it's you. You've got to make that happen. Easy is not an option. As you go through the challenges of life and you look at it and embrace whatever comes to you, don't run from it. Step toward it. Don't try and duck it like most people do. See, most people want it easy. See, easy come, easy what? Easy go. When you handle those hard things close at hand, making those hard decisions that you don't want to make, learning those things that you don't like to do, but you know that in order for you to get where you want to go, this is one of the hoops that you have to flip through. And I'm saying to you, whatever you got to do it, because if you don't, life is going to whoop you until you surrender. How do you hang in there during the hard, difficult times, Les? You must have faith. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your abilities. You've got to believe in your service, your company, your ideas. You've got to have faith. And that faith gives you patience. That it's not going to happen as quickly as you want it to happen. A lot of things are going to happen that will catch you off guard. And so therefore you've got to deal with and handle it as it comes. And not only that, but that faith and patience drives you into action. You've got to keep moving and keep plugging away. When you're working at your dream, somebody said the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory.
Everybody's going through something. You know, we're all going through something, just my pain is a bit more visible than yours or somebody else. There was one day I remember when I was 6 years old, I had a very, very hard day at school. And I looked in the mirror and said, okay, Nick, I'm talking to myself. I'm saying, Nick, what do you have that is good, that no one can change, that no one can argue with? And I looked myself in my eyes and I said, hey, you got some good looking eyes.
There are some things in life that are out of your control and you got to live with. The choice that we have, though, is either to give up or keep on going. I want to ask you, what are you going to believe? Are you going to believe in yourself? Are you going to believe everybody else's judgment on you? Are you going to believe people when they say that you're a failure? You can only take one step at a time. I don't care how big your step is, it's only one step at a time. You can't do 2 steps in one. You take steps in this direction, you take steps in that direction. Sort of get lost along the way, and sometimes you fall down. So what do you do when you fall down? Get back up. Everybody knows to get back up. And I tell you, there are some times in life where you fall down, feel like you don't have the strength to get back up. You see, I will try 100 times to get up, and if I fail 100 times, if I fail and I give up, do you think that I'm ever going to get up? No. But if I fail, I try again and again and again. For as long as I try, there's always that chance of getting up. Does that make sense? And it's not the end until you've given up.
What have I done in my life during my most difficult times? This might be useful for you too, to kind of look at your own life and say, when I was in the toughest times and I was able to pull myself through, how did I do it? At the most fundamental level, I did 5 things. And these are the 5 that I invite you to consider and look at your life to either take yourself to the next level, be able to thrive during these difficult times, or turn yourself around so you can begin to thrive. The first thing I believe you got to do to turn yourself around is really take control of your mind, or specifically, you got to feed and strengthen the mind. One of my first teachers, Jim Rohn, taught me something years ago. He said, Tony, every day you got to stand guard at the door of your mind, because things feed in there and you start to accept them. They start to become beliefs. You start to make up meanings that take over your life. If we are what we eat, we are what we read, we are what we listen to. What's the second key? Well, number 2 is you got to feed and strengthen your body. When times are really uncertain, fear creeps in. And what is fear? Fear is something quite physical. It takes a hold of you when it's really there and intense. We've all had that gut level fear. When's the last time you really pushed yourself? You went on a run, but at the end, you pushed yourself for that last 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it was, till you felt like your heart was pumping up, like you're gonna spit out blood, where there was an intensity in you. Go out and push yourself and feel yourself have to force through whatever was your limitation before. Every part of you starts to operate differently. Your body changes, so does your mind. What's the third key? Well, that third step is you got to get a role model that inspires you and really shows you the way. One of the biggest things that'll change you once you're mentally and physically strong is you need to believe. You got to believe that there is a pathway to get to where you want to be. The best example is just show them history. And I told investors, look at Sir John Templeton. He became a billionaire by being an investor, and he started with $10,000. How do you do that? He did it because he believed you make all your money at times of maximum pessimism. In 1939, the Depression is going on, Hitler invades Poland, and he's in a place where all heck is breaking loose, and he took his $10,000 and he invested it all he could in the stock market, bought stocks that cost $1. But what do you think happened after the war? Things got back to normal. He became a billionaire from those investments. We all need contrast sometimes, not only role models of how to get it done and be successful, but role models of how to deal with our problems and our challenges. So get a role model that'll inspire you and show you the way. And the fourth key now is you've got to get a proven plan, and you got to take massive action. Just remember, progress equals happiness. If it doesn't work, just change your approach. And then number 5, most importantly of all of them, feed and strengthen your spirit. There's only one way to do that. It's to find what you're grateful for and to take time to think about what it is that's so lucky in your life. And when most importantly, what feeds your spirit is to give. To find a way to do something for someone else who's worse off than you are. It's about strength, and it's about perspective, it's about action, it's about emotion, and it's about heart. Ultimately, you're doing this because some part of you knows that you're here in life not just to get, but to give. Then there's a spark that happens in other people because they feel the genuineness of that, and there's a spark that happens in you because it reminds you what you're made for.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's another beautiful day, and you are above ground and not under it. If you're putting yourself in a position where you're being hard on yourself and you don't feel that you're worthy of something, that means that some things that it is that you are seeking and certain things that you really ultimately need rather than just want, it has to be some form of worthiness connected to it. What are you prepared to do? How far are you willing to go? What type of sacrifices are you willing to make? Or are you in a position to give excuses all of your power? Are you willing to let excuses control the life that you've been given? Being hard on yourself to some degree may be okay. But when you start to have a pity party, when you start to put yourself in a position as if your life is over, then shame on you, because your life is not over. Now, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to pretend that you're being something that you know you're not? Or are you going to realize that just maybe you got to work just a little bit harder, regardless of what it is, to get exactly what it is that you are seeking?
Let's talk a little bit about failure. First of all, get over yourself. You're going to eventually get to a point where you are going to fail at something. But as long as you're moving forward and doing something that is going to make you better each day, that's a good thing. Failing does not mean that it's over for you. Failure means that you're learning something about you. Don't beat yourself down because today you having that day and you just thinking to yourself, well, I'm not that good at this. Well, if you're not that good at it, then do something about it and work on it so you can be good at it. And once you overcome that, find something else that you're going to probably fail at. You gotta fail. Because when you fail, that's when you learn.